Hello everyone and welcome to another league racing video on the channel. Today we're here for PSGL Top Split. We've been promoted for a one-off race as a reserve. We got the call up for this one here at Jeddah and we're driving in the Alpha Tauri and we're alongside Wilson Hughes for this one. So it should be a fun event. I always enjoy Jeddah. It's probably my favourite track on the game in terms of pace wise. I can go quite fast around here and I have done quite a bit of practice, so I'm hoping that I can show some of that pace in this one. This is also going to be my practice for my Split 2 race, which will be the day after at the time of racing this, and of course the highlights, I'll release those in a couple of days. But yeah, Split 1, first time in a while I've been here. You know, it's been a minute, but we're back and we're going to see if we can, you know, match up against the fast guys and esports guys in, you know, with this current game. So yeah, currently on the mediums as we set our first lap in Q1, instantly beaten by Salman Weigang and many others to come. I then went for a second push lap on these mediums, but into turn 2 I just cut the inside apex and invalidate. I decided to push on though just to see what the lap would have been, and you can see here we also messed up the final corner quite badly, but even then it would have been about a 7/10th improvement.
Don't do a fucking mid-5.
It could have maybe even been a bit more. Had I nailed the final corner, it could have been like 8/10ths plus. So it could have been a 27.6, which would have been pretty damn decent. Or, you know, a 5 even, had we got that final corner spot on. So, yeah. Overall, we had to swap to the softs though, because, you know, it was getting to that crunch time. And I fueled for 2 runs here. So this is the end of my first push lap on the soft tyre, which it wasn't a bad lap, but it wasn't really committed enough. And I just lacked a bit of speed. We set a 26.7, which is not great. It's not ideal. We're P9, but I don't think that's going to be enough pace-wise to make the cut into Q2. Now we're going to have to go again because I don't think that lap's going to be enough for us. So yeah, we're going to commit to a second push lap, and this was after a cooldown lap. So through 1 and 2, didn't quite get all the curb on the inside of 2 there. I should have taken a lot more. Exit pretty decent as we make our way into 3 and 4. Left-right combo, really important here to just get as close as possible to the walls and carry as much speed as possible. Currently P13, so we're in for now, but we do need to improve as other cars are on a lap, and there's still 2.5 minutes to go as we improve in the first sector by a 10th. So it's not my best first sector. I have done like a low 7, but this is Q1, so the grip is a bit lower. But we are up right now, so let's try and keep it going. We lose a bit of time through the hairpin there, nearly 3/4 of a 10th, which wasn't ideal. Into the chicane though, right left, carrying a decent amount of speed, didn't quite challenge the wall. We get a bit of a slipstream on the exit from Danny Berezne, and you can see now we're a 10.5 up. So we've definitely maybe left a 10th on the table so far this lap, making our way into the left-hander underneath the hotel, carrying plenty of speed through there. Actually losing a little bit compared to my previous lap. Again, just trying to, you know, be safe, and as a result of that, we're not fully committing and we're losing a bit of time. Down to the final corner then, spot the braking, almost at the 50-meter board. Short shift and exit, clean up the traction, and then running up to the line. We're going to improve by 0.2 of a second.
Did you do it, Tom?
5 mid. I lost time at the hairpin at the farthest way away from the track, like towards the end.
And yeah, overall, that was my last attempt, and it was enough. We actually got through by a couple of tenths in the end. It was actually relatively comfortable. We out-qualified Danny Berezne, Duncan Hoffland, Simon Perigny, Joost Noordijk, and Timon Shooter, who is also in this Discord call with myself and Wilson Hughes. And yeah, the grid's really close, man. Jeddah is such a competitive circuit. Everyone's super, super close around here. Everyone has been practicing like crazy, and the level is really high. But we're into Q2, and I was happy with that. That's what I wanted to achieve, and we've done it. Now then, Q2, I've already done a kind of banker on mediums, the ones we used in Q1 as a reference lap time. I've now got the soft tyres on, trying to go for an actual push lap, as Jarno goes fastest.
P3 still.
And yeah, we're going to go through the S's and see if we can start to really show our pace and, you know, do our thing as we make our way through. You can see we're right on the limit here.
He'll probably beat us, to be honest.
Oh no. Fuck, we just lose the back end, which was really frustrating. We didn't go, you know, super fast. We did an 8.99 in the first sector, which isn't that great. And yeah, it was a decent lap. I got the delta reference.
Not really ideal. 4.94.
So we've got that 4.94 lap to aim for as our delta reference for the final run. So back to the pits, fresh set of tyres, and we're out again. and this is going to be my last attempt. Can we do it on one lap to get into Q3? We're about to find out. Straight away, lap begins, into 1 and 2, on the brakes. Didn't quite get enough inside curb through any of those two apexes, which wasn't really ideal. Having said that, we are up by nearly a 10th already compared to our previous soft tyre lap. Through the S's now, and we're a full 10th up now as we try to carry that speed all the way through this entire section without making sure we make no mistakes. Downshift, bit wide through there, and as a result we actually cut and invalidate, and that is going to be the end. We did set a mid-8, which is okay, you know, for Q2. It's not too bad as the first sector. You can see here we actually were up by as much as a 10th and a bit heading into the back straight here. So the pace was decent, but here I just started to lose the right rear with overheating. So yeah, we'll never know what the lap would have been. I still decided to push on, but my tyres were overheating. So it's not really an accurate lap, as I had a pretty poor final corner. Overall though, if you do a bit of quick math, I did a 4.94 banker on the soft tyre, and I was up by 1.2 tenths. So that already gets me, you know, in the mid-ish threes, mid to high threes. And then there was a bit more time in the lap because, of course, I overheated, you know, a little bit. And I think there was a few areas at the final corner where I definitely left a bit of time on the table. So I do actually believe I could have got Q3 in a perfect lap. My personal best around here is a 25.9. But Q2 grip is a lot less, and I just struggled to get a clean run together, which is my bad. But Jeddah is such a challenging circuit, for, you know, for that reason. And yeah, P15 for us in qualifying, out in Q2, but still, I'll take that. I wanted to get through Q1, and that's my goal, and we achieved it. So yeah, that's it for qualifying. We're now going to move into the race. Now then, the race is going to be contested in wet conditions, and we saw this in the weather forecast before qualifying, and I went for a setup that was my own. And while it's very stable, it's quite understeery because of that stableness, which doesn't particularly favour the wet. I did get a bit more front wing on, but we are going to be at a slight disadvantage setup wise in hindsight, you know, looking at it as the lights go out. We're underway for the race though, and it's not the best start. Normally I get pretty decent ones. Second phase though, we get off really well. We get Liam Parnell there as we go to the outside of turn 1. Contact behind as well as we get tagged a little bit. You can see multiple red arrows as I think they're 3 wide behind us here as all chaos kicks off in the S section now.
Sorry, but they just squeezed me into the wall.
Yeah, I saw it.
And I think we're also in a call with Lewis Welch as well. You guys might recognise him, of course, as my teammate from last season in PSGL. But eventually we all got through and made it single file. And we're P14, so we've gained a place so far, which is decent. And we're behind Danny Beresne right now, who I believe may have damage, if I'm not mistaken. We've got Duncan Hoffland here, trying to put some pressure on for a move. I outbrake myself a little bit, trying to get used to the conditions, and that allows Duncan to have a look up the inside. We tried to out-drag him on the exit. We have a bit of a moment on traction, and you can see here, we're going to actually box him in as we almost send one up the inside of Beresne, and this is great battling here, side-by-side action.
Look, Smith is so fast. Why are they going for moves here?
And yeah, the action continues as we eventually have to yield and let Duncan Hoffland just get ahead. But you can see here through the chicane under the hotel, Duncan gets a pretty poor run. And we've also got Simon Perugni for company behind us as we make our way into the final corner. And we're going to see how this all pans out. Everyone trying to be super aggressive in the opening lap as Perugni goes for the move. We have to leave space on the outside as we go the long way around, and we're going to manage to get the better exit and stay ahead of the Alpine. And as a consequence of that good exit, we actually get the run on Duncan Hoffland here. Down to turn 1, we're going to switch to the outside, and we're going to try and send it on the brakes, and there's contact further back with Duncan and Simon. No idea what happened there. I was involved, but I didn't feel anything from my force feedback.
Green flag.
I think he hit the inside wall. And Duncan Hoffland actually went for a spin or a half spin, some form of contact between, you know, me, him, and Simon Perugni. I guess the death triangle or something happened in the first corner. I felt nothing through the force feedback, and I felt like I left loads of space on the inside, so I don't think I've got anything, you know, wrong there. I've not been reported for any incident. Nonetheless, though, P14 though, after the first lap and a bit of chaos and a bit of action, and we're still tucked in here behind Beresne with Perugni now chasing us down. We also got Liam Parnell, F1 Esports, I think Red Bull driver if I'm not mistaken, also just behind him. So at this point it was all about stabilising and trying to get into the rhythm of the race. I could see that Berezne was struggling, and I think he has got some wing damage at this stage of the race.
Tanaka, just calm the fuck down. Like, just stay where you are for a minute. Jesus Christ.
Now I was thinking about the move, to be fair, on Berezne through there, but I'm going to be patient and wait for a better opportunity. You can see here Berezne clearly struggling with a bit of wing damage as he gets some understeer. We also have a bit of oversteer going through the chicane on the exit, and Perigny's going to put some pressure on as we go to the outside of Danny Berezne here, down to the final corner on the brakes. We actually run in super deep, but we actually managed to brake super late, so that is going to give us the opportunity to square off the corner and get a lovely exit, and in turn make the move as we move up the P13. We've got Perigny and now Berezne go side by side. Now to turn one, I'm going to make sure we go nice and early into the apex to avoid getting potentially accidentally dive bombed. And yeah, a decent start to the race. 2 places gained, front wing still in one piece, and we're looking pretty decent. Lap 4 now we've caught up to Luke Smith, who is struggling a little bit for pace. I think he's overheating his tyres a little bit, and we're going to try and look for a move on him and see if we can progress, you know, a little bit further in terms of more positions gained, because again, wet race, the whole race is going to be in these conditions. There's going to be no DRS and also no pit stops. The tyre wear is non-existent on the wet tyres around here, so we're not going to be stopping in this race. It's going to be a race to the finish, so overtakes have to be done the old-fashioned way, on track, without DRS. And speaking of which, Simon Perigny putting quite a substantial amount of pressure on. He was, you know, before this also trying to make the move, and at this point I'll just like, you know what, just go mate, because I felt under a bit of pressure, you know, having him battle me, and I didn't really want that at this stage of the race. So
Fighting for the guard at the front.
Let's go. Perigny's using all of his battery.
Oh shit. Simon, leave space. Oh, you dickhead. What are you doing?
Your damage.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
as up ahead, Wilson Hughes, my teammate, gets damaged. Contact with Simon Weigang, and you can see he's trying to get out of the way here, but then Perigny and him lock on.
Oh my
Fucking
God.
hell. Simon's been way too aggressive this race, man.
And just like that, my teammate Wilson is out of contention. He had contact with both Alpines, Simon Weigang and Simon Perigny, and we're now up to P12 again.
This light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
I trusted Simon. I thought it would leave me.
Now there is the weather update, so yeah, confirmation that the rain is staying for the whole race as Wilson pits. We're gonna get back onto it then, and onto lap 6 now. We get our first warning for track limits.
Oh, I've got a warning. Shit.
And I will say, up ahead, Simon Weigang and Shanaka Clay were battling. Now, pace-wise, I was faster than, I'd say, a few cars ahead of me, to be fair, at this stage of the race. I felt pretty comfortable. The pace was good. I felt, you know, pretty decent. I do wish I had a bit more of a front end. I had quite a bit of understeer, but the straight line speed was pretty decent. We set a personal best as we...
The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1 minute 37.3.
We get a reference there, so we're nearly a second off the fastest lap, which belongs to Jan Watman, and he was, you know, absolutely dominant in this race. His pace was on another level compared to absolutely everyone. Lap 8, though, you can see here we're closing in on Luke Smith once again, as yeah, we're trying to look for these moves, but it's so frustrating without DRS. It's almost impossible to overtake around here, and that makes it quite a frustrating race, especially in the wet weather conditions.
Longue has damage and it's holding everyone up. Okay.
Now, apparently, Longue has damage, according to someone in my chat, which I didn't see any proof of that as the race went on, but battling ahead, though, in the meantime here, as you can see.
Oh, no, I got a warning. Fuck. Oh, no, I'm going to get a penalty this race. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
And you can just see here this battling as Pedreño rejoins. We have to try and avoid it, and we're up to P11 now as the chaos kicks off. You can hear Wilson say, "Who's the McLaren?" which is up the road. Josh Idawu.
I mean, I know it's Barry. Go.
Green flag.
As Pedreño pulls over behind, and up ahead we've got Josh Idawu struggling in the McLaren. So we could be on for points here already as Josh struggling for pace.
I can't believe I'm on 2 warnings, man. Fuck. It's going to be a long race. Oh. Josh has gone off, I think. We're in the points. And just like that, Josh goes off. He pulled over because of the damage. And we're up into the top 10, into the points. And we're still pressuring Luke Smith here for a move. So we're going to try and still, have a look at getting past him. You can see I'm getting pretty close in certain areas, but then also losing in others. And that was a kind of yo-yo effect around here.
I'm right so quick. What?
You were super quick. He was behind me. Now, Yana sets a new fast lap as Simon Perigny also showing his pace further back after that incident with Wilson Hughes. And I could tell he was really fast when he was behind me. That's why I didn't want to battle him too hard. On to lap 11 now, though. And I was faster than Luke and a few cars ahead at one point. But then the minute Vigang overtook Shanaka Clay, he just pulled off and Shanaka went with him. And everything... Oh, that fucking curve, bro. Jesus. Everything just kind of spread out. And I wasn't quite able to get close enough to Lucas. We make a big mistake through the hotel, and now Joost Noordijk going for a move here to the outside.
They're going to make pants shitting it.
Side by side, through the final corner, leaving space at all times. It's going to be a drag race. Joost gets the better traction, and I'm going to just fall in line here and get in the slipstream. We're going to try and re-challenge down into turn 1, even with a personal best here. We're going to go to the outside, long way around, late on the brakes. Side by side, nice clean racing on the limit, but we don't quite get the exit, and Joost is going to jump us and move ahead up into P10 and into the points, which is quite frustrating, I'm not going to lie, because we're now back out of the points. You two battle.
You said the last lap and lost the line.
What?
Tom, say your last lap across the line.
37.6 PB.
37-0.
37.0?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Tom. We're going to catch now because Luke and Joost are battling. Now we're just getting some lap time updates as Tom and Shooter setting 37.0 on the last lap, which is pretty insane. In the meantime, Joost and Luke battling, and I was hoping for something to happen between these two, or maybe we can get a bit closer, because at this phase my pace was starting to drop a bit. I have just set a PB by like nearly half a second instead of 37.1. So. Now lap 19, I managed to stretch my legs a bit and set a PB by half a second as we show some of the pace that we had, or second off your though, and just trying to see what we could do. But yeah, the race kind of went a bit flat. As tyre wear kicked in, it became harder to follow, get close, get good corner exits, all that stuff. And yeah, for now we're just kind of hanging on. Luke Smith has got a penalty up ahead. Oh fuck.
You've been
Wow.
awarded a time penalty
Right.
for that last incident.
I've done that once now where I got really lucky. And unfortunately, we get a penalty ourselves, which is a real shame because we were on for a point had we jumped Luke Smith with a penalty. Again.
As we get our third and fourth warnings to the exact same corner. And yeah, unfortunately, because of the penalty now, we're not going to finish in the points. Bit of a shame, but that's the way it goes. And yeah, pretty much.
What a fucking lap this is, Jesus. Just did a 36.5.
Nothing we can do, we're just kind of driving for fun really at the end. The pace was okay. In hindsight, I wish I'd gone more aggressive and gone for I had another setup which was more aggressive because of the rain, but I thought I'd be okay on this one.
Really thought Joost had more pace to get past Luke, but never mind. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't let Joost by so easily. I did a 32.2 last lap PB.
As we finished the race setting a personal best. Not a bad lap to be fair, pretty decent pace. If you look at the fastest laps, we was up there. But anyway, race done. Frustrating because Joost got P9, which, we should have probably got that to be fair, but I messed it up. So, yeah, not a bad race for split 1. I felt pretty comfortable. Wasn't really planning on the rain. The setup I chose was the wrong one. But overall, I was happy with the performance. I was a bit annoyed about the penalty. I tried to never get penalties, but still, overall, I enjoyed it. It was a fun race while it lasted. A bit boring at times because there was no stops and no DRS and stuff. But yeah, Jarno dominated, which was insane, and Barry Elongate on the podium with him. And yeah, that was pretty much it. To be fair, I think again in reflection, hindsight, I probably could have maybe got a Q3 in qualifying on a perfect lap, and then obviously start in the top 10. Had I chosen the right setup, could have been a pretty decent race, but that's the way it goes. Still, I really enjoyed it, and this will be practice for my second split race, and I'll bring the highlights of that one in a couple of days' time. But yeah, my return top split was unsuccessful in terms of points, but still, P15 to P12, we'll take that. Not too bad. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe for more. As always, a massive thank you to the members for supporting the content. And finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. But that's it from me today, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Until then, take care, and just goodbye from me.